yeah, 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 yeah. Step into the den where the stories ignite. Legends in the making, all the ones in the light. They walk through the fire, they've danced with the fight. Barely holding back, but their words take flight. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no bluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends, where the dream gets me. Yeah, we got tales from the rise and the climb so steep. Bars of wisdom hidden in the secrets they keep. Mic in the hand, truth rolls so deep. Barely legends waking giants from sleep. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends, where the dream gets me. Barely scratching the surface.
Turns out, I go to the same church as you. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because I definitely seen you at Hope before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Robert actually was like, Chima like goes here, right? I was like, does he
yeah,
really? I didn't even didn't even catch
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've since I came out here back in January last year, I've been going there. I mean, I was there this past Sunday because I coach over at St.
Yeah.
Ambrose. So like, I mean, it's been like kind of like hectic on like going there on Sundays because we had JV ball on top of varsity too. Like literally like that following Sunday after we play on Saturdays, our varsity play on Saturday, play JV on Sunday, and they want us in the office by like 9 a.m. So I tried to make it to service, but like at the end of the day, like I mean, now since the season's over, I definitely have time to go to service now. So I was
Yeah.
there this past Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. How's
And
how was the season for you guys?
man, I'm not gonna lie, we just gotta find better, man. I mean, we just
Yeah.
gotta finish that off at like 4-7. Um, we just gotta find better. I feel like all our games we lost were by 10 points or less, and it's like it's kind of frustrating because in football, like if you don't play complete 4 quarters, you're not gonna win any games. So I feel
Yeah.
like that was our whole identity of this whole season is just like playing 4 quarters of ball. And I mean, it kind of sucks too because we probably lost maybe like 20 seniors on top of how college football
Yeah.
is retention. Guys decide they want to like go to another school to pursue different opportunities. So we lost guys on top of that, but I mean we're recruiting guys now. Once the season ended, the portal started going crazy. So we're recruiting a bunch of guys out of the portal on top of high school kids in JUCO. So I mean, I feel like we're going to be in a good direction going to the spring and going into the fall next year. So with the guys we're finding,
How long have you been with them?
I literally been with Ambrose for I think like once January comes around, it'll be almost a year.
Dang,
So I've
nice.
been with them. I've been with them like since January of this year. So I like it here. I love it. Obviously, they give me the opportunity to still play football, play for the Steamwheelers, and also coach and get my master's. So I can't
Yeah.
can't turn that down. Living the
Yeah,
dream for sure.
definitely. So you mentioned the Steamwheelers. You're back up for them this year again. What's it been like being part of the Steamwheeler team?
I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I'm still young. I'm in my 20s, so I had to, run it back again off out from like the season we had last year. We finished at 12-5. We're literally a game away from going to the championship. We lost in the Eastern Conference
Yep.
championship, and so like that type of loss definitely like left a bad taste in my mouth. And just being a guy that played on that team, just we had a great defensive line. We had Kadir Shepard, we had Cagle, and we had Keyshawn Moore, number 41, the nose. So I mean, that was a great defensive line. It's crazy. All those guys pretty much got all IFL accolades, and to be a part of that group and knowing that I contribute to that team, and definitely said, man, you got a lot of fire and feeling the tank. You need to come back. And I felt like I owe that to myself, and I owe that to the fans as well in the community because at the end of the day, it's not about just being the player. It's about like relationships and the people you make an impact on. And I can, I'm doing what I love to do at a high level. At the end of the day, even though it's the IFL, still a paid professional sport, and I gotta use this as an opportunity, as a stepping stone to, play at the next level.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to come back, and now I'm a seasoned vet. It's crazy. I wouldn't have thought that I would be playing in the IFL going into like year 5. But yeah, I'm really excited about this upcoming season. I'm really like fired up for this upcoming season.
Yeah.
It's crazy how time flies. I remember being a rookie 3 years ago. Now I'm entering like my 5th season.
Yeah. You mentioned that Eastern Conference game leaving a bad taste in your mouth. With IFL, like it's such a crazy thing where all of a sudden the offense. I mean, you're only playing on 50 yards. The offense
Yeah.
can just go crazy, and like that game, both offenses were. What's it like being on the defensive side of that, where it's like no matter what you can do, you can't really do much. Like it's just some days that the offense is just gonna go crazy.
So on defense, obviously, like you said, offense you're kind of at an advantage because obviously the IFL is a high pace, offense driven game. But you got on defense, you gotta have that dog mentality, bend never break mentality. And, like you gotta play smart on defense too as well. I mean, when you jump off sides, illegal defense, that 10 yards definitely like hurts you for sure. So
Yeah.
like just playing defense, you gotta be poised. But at the end of the day, you gotta from my perspective, I'm a defensive lineman. So whenever I get my one-on-ones, I gotta beat my one-on-ones so I can, get to the quarterback and get a DB some time to stay on their coverage. And the nose is a really big part of the defense for sure. So you can't get knocked back in the run game. You got to be a dominant nose. And for me this year, this past season, I played defensive, a little bit of defensive. I played a little bit of edge. So that was kind of new to me. But throughout the season, I started again comfortable at that edge position playing end because like in the outdoor game, playing the edge is pretty much playing 3 technique. That's what I played in college as well. I played defensive tackle and I played majority of those too. So, it feels good to, be able to be versatile on that defensive line and be able to, play the edge and also play nose as well. So I think on the defense, man, you just got to have a dog mentality, bend never break mentality because at the end of the day, I'm not being negative for saying this, but you're gonna give up points in the
Yeah.
IFL. I mean, that's the nature of the game at the end of the day. So as long as you get, 3 stops, them 3, 4 stops on defense is gonna put your offense on in a good situation because the game is a high pace game for sure.
Yeah. Did you have any troubles, kinda translating into the IFL world, like the indoor football in general with all the rules that are a little bit different than regular football?
Absolutely. So last year I played at Tulsa last year, so it's crazy. I never got my first IFL sacks. I haven't got sacks in the IFL until like last year.
Mhm.
So last year I had like 5 sacks, and as a nose, I mean that's a lot of sacks for a nose.
Yeah.
And I had to like realize that the way you pass rush in the IFL compared to that outdoor game, in the outdoor game, you got a lot of space, but in the IFL, you're limited to space. So you definitely got to rush tight. You definitely have to have great gap integrity, and you need to see where that quarterback is, stepping up in the pocket in your rush lane. That's why whenever so in the IFL, outdoors, I was more of a finesse pass rusher. I use a double swipe. I do a swim move, but in the IFL, like you pretty much gotta be a power rusher from the nose position. Like you definitely got to use all your pass rushes from like a power position. So I had to like start bull rushing, and then from like bull rushing, I had to like convert my pass rush moves. So obviously the bull rush is my bread and butter. Obviously I'm a 300 pound plus defensive lineman, so I had to like work with my power rushes and now also, convert to, more from I had to have like a pass rush move in my second nature, like more of a I don't know, I'm not gonna say like a speed rush, but I definitely had to like power rush some more compared to IFL compared to outdoors if because you feel me, you're giving up a lot of, space when you're rushing wide in the IFL. So you gotta rush tight from the nose tackle or any defensive line position for sure.
Yeah. Um, do who did you have anybody to, like, lean on in the team? The few players we've gotten to interview that are part of the Steamwheelers, they talk about, like, just a tight-knit community. It's one of the biggest pluses of what I've heard for playing for the Steamwheelers. Were you able to rely on some of the players? I know you played at Tulsa as well. to kind of learn some more of those techniques?
So, a person that I really went up against in practice that got me better, and I feel like I got him better too, is probably Joe Crawl. Me and Joe, man, we've been in this league for a long time now. You know, Joe's a seasoned vet like me. So I mean, I remember my rookie year. I've been playing against Joe since my rookie year when I was at Sioux Falls, when I was at Tulsa. So me and Joe definitely, we definitely went at it a bunch of times, and it's crazy. Me and him ended up becoming teammates. So in practice, man, we just like practice hard, and we'll just like talk trash to each other. But off the field, man, me and Joe were really tight. I love Joe, and it's crazy how like the football world is. We went from like playing against each other to like competing against each other, and I feel like just going against a top tier um, offensive lineman in this league like Joe definitely got me better, and also I got him better as well. I think this team I played on last year, man, we're just really like emotionally, like physically and spiritually and just mentally like connected. I mean, we bond a lot. I mean, especially everybody on the whole defensive line, especially Keyshawn Moore. I mean, it's crazy. Me and Keyshawn, we actually went to the same JUCO, so
Oh,
we pretty much had we had like that winning mentality, just like coming into last season. Obviously, we played for a respected junior college, Lackawanna Junior College. We played under a good defensive line coach. His name is Mark Duda, and I felt like obviously I feel like we were already like molded into like great defensive linemen. Obviously, we played at Division I school, so we definitely came and developed. But at the end of the day, we were still able to like coach each other up, with our
yeah,
technique. And that's one thing I'm gonna say about the defensive line, because I mean our defensive line was real talented, so we were just coaching each other up. So like we just knew like mistakes we made, and then we just coach each other up. And I feel like resilience and just being resilient and just having humility and just be able to take coaching. That was what have made us become like really successful on the defensive line last year. Even as a whole team last year, we just had a bunch of guys that just wanted to win. Guys that had a lot of humility and guys that are just putting their head down and to take coaching at the end of the day. I feel like that also like separates you from like playing at the next level, just like taking coaching.
yeah, yeah. You mentioned a lot about like coaching each other up and stuff. Do you kind of use some of the things you're learning from teammates, things you've learned from past coaches that you really liked, into your new coaching role with the team you're with?
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I get both the best of both worlds. I get to coach on the collegiate level, and I
Yeah,
get to play on the professional level. So everything I learned from like being a player, from like playing Division I football, and to like now, obviously I take it with me and I try to incorporate it into my game. And if I see something wrong, obviously I'm gonna address it too, and try to coach them up at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, like I mean, as a player or coach, it's always a new day. It's always room to like learn something different. So I feel like everything I learned I also incorporated into my style of play, and I also, address it to my teammates as well. So
yeah, very cool. I we play a game of Mount Rushmore here where we kind of rank different things. I would love to hear like top four hype songs going into like, or what you're listening to going into game day, either coaching or playing.
um I'm really into like I'm really like I don't know if you're familiar who DMX is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I listen to a lot of the DMX. X is gonna give it to you. I listen to Bring Your Whole Crew by DMX. I listen to Rough Riders Anthem by DMX. I'm really into I listen to a lot of just hanging around Keyshawn Moore. I just he put me on with a couple rock songs. I mean, listen to a lot of Saliva, Click Click Boom.
Yeah.
Um, I listen to a lot of like my genre of music. I listen to like my rap music as well too. Obviously I like Detroit rappers. There's this guy named Rio the Young OGs from Flint, Michigan. Um, I listen to Crispy Life. I listen to a lot of like Detroit rappers. Like I listen to a lot of old school music too. I love music for real. So like my
Yeah.
genre of music is definitely is definitely is out there for sure. I gotta listen to the champ is here for sure. Like, that just like gets my, I don't know, it just brings that, it just ignites that fire, going to game day because you gotta think about it, man. When it's game day, like obviously like some type of like anxiety kicks in, like an
Yeah.
excited anxiety. Like it's game day, like everybody likes practicing, everybody likes going to meetings, but once once this game day, like it clicks. Like one thing about being an athlete too on the professional level, whether it's CFL, NFL, UFL, you got to build your own brand. And I built my own brand. Whenever it's game day, I'll post a picture. Shout out Chat GPT. It says kill mode activated. So it's like me, like I'm really big into like Planet of the Apes. So I like gorillas. So if I wasn't a human being, like in another world, I'll be like a gorilla. I'll be an ape for real because an ape is my alter ego in the animal form. An ape is present. An ape is ballistic. An ape is
Yeah.
just like a juggernaut. Like an ape is tough, and I feel like that's me. I got that ape in me for sure. So it's like pretty much a picture of me in the Steamwheelers uniform, and it's like a picture of a half ape, so it's pretty cool. And it says like kill mode activated, Dunga slaughter. So pretty much the Dunga slaughter is pretty much like this, and I pretty much got that. I pretty much they call me the Dunga slaughter in college, and I feel like that carried that through college till now. So I've been doing that for years now, and I really got that celebration because I was really I'm a WWE fan, so like when the Undertaker does his Tombstone Power
Yep.
Driver, he like sticks his tongue out and slits his throat. So I don't know, I just started doing that, and then since then they call me the Dunga Slaughter. And then on game day, I'll post my little picture on Instagram, kill mode activated. So I know you gotta just build your brand at the end of the day. You
Yeah.
gotta have that. Gotta be a little bit crazy to play ball. You gotta have that alter
Yeah.
ego. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I
So
have two directions I want to go with that. One, the you had to have loved the 100 men versus the gorilla conversation that was going on for a while then.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah,
With that, it just seems like that. Yeah, you would have loved that conversation. And two, who are some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? Then I want to dig into that.
I was, believe it or not, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat. I like the whole WWF Attitude Era when he had like the gimmick with China. Rest
Hmm.
in peace. Um, I love RVD, Raw Van Dam. I love The Rock. I'm a big Rock guy. I love The Rock. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. Um, I like Val Venus, the big Valvoski. He was pretty honestly that whole attitude era, just growing up
Yeah.
as a kid. I was probably like I was real young. Probably had to be like maybe like 4 or 5 years old. Then that it's crazy because my uncle started putting me on with wrestling because whenever I go to my uncle's house when I was younger, my mom and dad would drop us to my uncle's house to babysit us. I started watching, WWE with them. I watched WrestleMania with them, and then it just like I don't know. I just started watching, WWE, and then I just, it's crazy because like I got a bunch of WWE graphic tees. I love
Yeah.
WWE, so I think my favorite wrestler growing up had to be Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero for sure, and Chris Jericho too. I like Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Y2J.
Yeah, the whole era was just fun. I mean, the characters were awesome. Uh,
Yeah,
my son's trying to get into it now. He's starting to watch it a little bit. I also found out like through this, honestly, we've got a pretty cool like local scene here in the Quad Cities
yeah.
of some wrestling, which is fun. We got to meet the owner of Honor Among Wrestling, so I've kind of started following that and some of the uh, people that got wrestling for them, and there's some cool stuff going on. So yeah, I'm
Apparently, there's a so Seth Rollins. Apparently,
yeah,
Rollins is out here. He's from the Quad Cities.
yeah,
They said that he has like a wrestling academy here in downtown Davenport. I need to check that out for real because
yeah,
I just found out he's from Davenport, which is crazy to me.
yeah. I want to pull it up. I forgot what it was called. Black and something. I want to say Black and Brave Wrestling. I want to say is
Yeah,
what it is. Yeah,
I want
downtown.
to say I want to say I drove past it, but I did not know if that was the place or not.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't advertise it like being like his very much. Like I think he just tries to kind of build it naturally instead of like
yeah,
necessarily using his name for it, which is very
yeah.
cool.
I think he wants to like stay low profile too as well. So
Yeah. We gonna
yeah,
Are we gonna see you like get into some wrestling stuff? Like that'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, a lot of people ask me if because what's crazy now, like the way like the football world is, a lot of like professional football players would like transition to wrestling. A lot of people ask me if like because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big guy, so a lot of people ask me if I would transition to wrestling in UFC. For one, I mean, I don't know, man. You wouldn't be surprised where life takes you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's I wouldn't rule out. I remember being in college, like the WWE actually sent me an email to like try out, but I didn't really look past it at the time. And I was more focused on like football coming out of college to see if I could play at the next level.
Yeah. So what are goals for you coming up? Is coaching like what you're aiming to be doing? Obviously like playing professionally for longer. So where's the goals and dreams kind of pushing you towards at the moment? Obviously life changes and stuff, but
Obviously, I got, obviously, I still got that fire in me to, keep on pursuing to play football. Obviously, my goal is to, you know, be an all IFL defensive lineman this year, and I feel like with that, I mean, you need a whole season to, be dominant, and I feel like once that happens, also you need to like, win a championship as well. I mean, the goal is to go to the IFL championship. I feel like when you win, opportunities, present itself. I really want to, get back outdoors and, play in the CFL for like at least like 5 years, Um, then I'm, happy with how my career went. But now, like, you gotta be where your feet are. So
yeah.
right now, I'm just competing in the IFL. Coaching wise, I love coaching too as well. If this was me maybe 4 years ago, my senior year of college, I wouldn't see myself coaching, but with coaching, I had the opportunity to, coach these guys. Obviously, I played football on a high level in college, and everything I learned in college through my coaches, I get to instill in these kids, and I get to motivate these kids, keep on going at the end of the day because. As a student athlete, there's a lot of hardships that come with being a student athlete. Being a student athlete is pretty much a full time job, and sometimes like I mean we're all human beings. Sometimes we check out,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day as a student athlete, what the common goal is to perform on the high level, but at the end of the day to excel in the classroom as well. So I feel like it's a blessing, coach these kids at the end of the day. And at some point in my life I was in these kids shoes, so to have somebody that was in the situation as you before, I feel like it's pretty much motivational for these kids as well
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And on top of that, I have an opportunity to work on my master's degree as well. So, I can't really turn that down. That's free schooling for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, I appreciate you being on. I'd love to talk to you again in the future. Obviously, see you on Sundays and actually say hi. Now that I know
Yeah.
for sure it was
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
uh, but like I said, I'd love to have you on again at some point and kind of talk a little bit more about, I mean, football and life and everything going on. Maybe report before season and kind of talk to you. But like I said, I appreciate you being on.
No, it's all good. You're a Bears fan?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you guys are doing pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You follow the NFL?
Yeah, I got a couple of teammates that play in the NFL. It's crazy. One of my teammates actually played for the Bears. His name is Jaquan Brisker,
What?
number 9 safety. Yeah, we went to JUCO together. He's pretty good.
Yeah,
We
he's
used
like
to
one of my favorite players on the team right now.
yeah, we used to call him the human eraser because man, this dude would just like come and boomstick
He
dudes.
he plays the old school style of football of
Yeah,
I just it reminds me of like the Major Wright clip that was like I didn't want the ball, I wanted him and like just the zooming in on him just like destroying the other players. So
yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad to see him. I glad to see him, playing again because I think last year he got pretty much like he got banged up.
Yeah.
He got concussed and he was out for a while. I'm glad to see him, playing at a high level, dominate and being the playmaker on the field for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome to watch him. I hope that the rest of our team can get a little healthy because it seems like the whole team's got a little bit of an injury bug going on. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's awesome to see him on the field. It's always better for the defense when he is.
that's awesome. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on. Look forward to seeing you and talking to you in the future.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk some more. We'll definitely, I'm excited about this upcoming season. I mean, have you ever been to the Steamwheelers game?
Yes, yeah, I've been to a couple. I got to take my son to one of the playoff games actually last year.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you'll see me out there a lot. So I
yes,
mean, I'm excited for this upcoming season. So
yeah,
we'll definitely we'll run into each other in church one of these days too as
yeah,
well. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
Just find me in the booth. I'm usually back there helping out. So,
For sure. I sure will.
all right, thank you, man.
All right, big dog, you got it.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
talk to you later.
Yes, sir.